Hello Celtics fans, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss Celtics first-hand news and leave your like to strengthen the channel. Boston, on paper, the Celtics are arguably the deepest team in the NBA. Yet as Joe Mazzulla tried to use all the pieces of his roster puzzle in a 28-point collapse against the Brooklyn Nets on Friday night, there were no answers to be found. "I thought everybody, nothing worked," Mazzulla said. "Let's just put it that way. How about that? I'm trying to come up with a long answer to help your question, but nothing worked." In fairness to Mazzulla, he didn't have a fully complete puzzle on Friday night against a Nets squad that had lost 4 straight games. Malcolm Brogdon, sore ankle, was a late scratch. Rob Williams suffered a hamstring injury in the third quarter that sidelined him for the rest of the night. Despite those asterisks, this was clearly a team that shouldn't have had issues dispatching a Nets squad that had been floundering defensively for weeks since a host of blockbuster deals. Big leads are blown in the NBA more and more these days against teams like Brooklyn for a very simple reason, according to the Celtics head coach. The three-point attempt rate is the most important stat in the game of basketball because of the pace of play, because of the shot selection, and because of the ability to go on runs. And so, when you get outshot by 14 threes, the potential points there are crucial because that gives you way more shots and that gives you more opportunities. And so, to me, I'm not really that surprised or worked up about it because a 24-point lead in the first half in today's NBA with the way offenses are means almost nothing. Leave your like on this video to keep up to date with everything that happens at Celtics. Thanks. Continuing. While the sentiment is true, the bigger concern is looking at the X factors beneath the loss and why exactly nothing worked for Boston. It was a tough night for Mazzulla and his personnel on a few fronts that are worth keeping an eye on. Starting lineup woes. This grouping may go on ice for a while if Rob Williams is sidelined regardless, but this was a pretty big step back for this group after a step forward on Wednesday night against the Cavs. In 12 minutes, they had a horrific -33.3 net rating as the Nets' versatile lineup of wings got the best of them on both ends of the floor. Boston was scrambling constantly amid double-team attempts as Al Horford and Rob Williams struggled to stick with smaller defenders. Offensively, the group was a mess as well after the first quarter. In 4 games since the All-Star break, the group is allowing 130 points per 100 possessions over 52 minutes, a far cry from what we saw from them last year. Whether they can recreate that magic amid injuries and matchup issues remains to be seen. Lineup choices. The Nets went small early and often in this one, with Nick Claxton being the only true big they played all night. As they jump-started a second-half comeback, it was apparent that the Nets were getting easy threes after drive-and-kicks mismatches and were able to switch easily defensively to thwart Boston's offense. Despite these realities, Mazzulla hesitated to play small for much of the night, sticking with 2 bigs on the floor for more than half of the game with ugly results. He even went with Luke Kornet over the more versatile in the third quarter, which did not go well at all. Failing to adapt to a lineup that gave the Celtics a better chance on both ends came back to haunt the Celtics amid the sudden momentum shift. A bench without order. Contending teams usually have all their ducks in a row by this point of the season. However, there are more questions than answers right now for this second unit beyond Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon. One of the team mainstays, Grant Williams, has had his confidence shook after a surprise DNP-CD on Wednesday night. He was back in action Friday night, but was largely ineffective as Boston's other secondary options, Pritchard, Kornet, Mazzulla, largely underwhelmed amid a bunch of mixing and matching. "It's a part of the game," Brown said of the different bench lineups. "We've had some different lineups for different reasons and trying to find some consistency in that second unit to get guys to find a rhythm and play some good basketball." Malcolm was out tonight. "It's been up and down, but I guess we got to do a better job of finding a little bit more consistency within whatever lineup is going out there." The uncertainty is creating high minute loads again for the team's stars as the team hits some adversity in the race for the number 1 seed, with the Bucks showing no signs of slowing down. Boston has bounced back well from ugly losses this year, but weaknesses are becoming more evident in this group amid certain matchups. Finding solutions that work and can be built upon will be top of mind for Boston's coaching staff as they try to turn the page after their ugliest loss of the year. Put your opinion in the comments as it is very important for Celtics. I update you at any time with the latest news from Celtics.